Sometimes the people who have the least give the most. This is the story of a jobless man who gave away everything he had, not knowing the woman he saved was the daughter of a billionaire. He had nothing left but compassion. She had everything except a reason to live. And in one moment, their worlds collided forever. What happens when kindness from the gutter reaches a heart of gold? This is a true life story you'll never forget. It was a cold, rainy evening in Lagos, the kind of night where the world feels heavy and hope seems far away. On a lonely corner, Emeka sat shivering, his stomach gnawing with hunger. He had no job, no prospects, and bare enough coins for a loaf of bread. Yet, despite his struggles, there was something in his heart that refused to harden. Suddenly, a faint cry pierced the rain. Emeka froze, listening. The sound was weak, desperate, and unmistakably human. Without thinking, he ran toward it. In a shadowed alley, he found her, a young woman, pale and trembling, lying on the wet ground. She barely breathed. Panic surged through him, but he acted. All Emeka had were a few coins and a small packet of food he had been saving for himself. And yet, without hesitation, he used every coin to call for an ambulance, gave her the food, and stayed by her side, holding her hand, whispering words of comfort until help arrived. The hours crawled by. Emeka stayed in the waiting area, drenched, exhausted, unsure if she would survive. And then, she did. When the doctor finally emerged, relief washed over him. "She's stable," the doctor said, "but she'll need someone to be with her until her parents arrive." Emeka didn't hesitate. He followed the nurse to her bedside, and there he stayed. Through the night, through the endless beeping of monitors, through the quiet hum of hospital life. By morning, she opened her eyes, weak, confused, but alive. Her first sight was Emeka, her savior, her constant through the night. She whispered, I don't even know your name." "Emeka," he replied simply. "I'm just glad you're alive." Soon, her parents arrived. Overwhelmed with gratitude and curiosity, they learned who had saved their daughter. And when they discovered it was a man with no home, no job, no wealth, they were bewildered. They offered him anything, a job, a home, a life of comfort. Emeka shook his head gently. I just did what anyone would do," he said, humble and exhausted. As he left, Adanna's heart stirred. There was something in his eyes, kindness, courage, something rare, and she couldn't let him go. Days passed. Adanna, against her parents' will, set out to find him. She asked around the streets, revisited the alley where he had saved her, hoping to see him again. Meanwhile, Emeka continued his quiet, struggling life, never imagining the heiress he saved would search for him. And then, on a sunlit street corner, she saw him, dirty, tired, yet with that same gentle look in his eyes. "Emeka," she called softly. He turned, surprised, unsure. She said, "I had to find you," she said, her voice trembling but resolute. "You saved me, and I can't let that be the end of our story." In that instant, the world felt lighter. The struggles, the hunger, the fear, it all seemed to fade. For Emeka, life had just begun. And for Adanna, she had found someone's heart that matched her own. Sometimes life changes in a single moment, a choice, a risk, a hand extended when no one is watching. Emeka had nothing, but he gave everything. And in doing so, he found a future he never dreamed possible. True kindness is never wasted. It has the power to save lives, hearts, and even destinies. They met in the storm, but found peace in each other. He gave without asking for anything in return, and she gave him back the one thing money couldn't buy: purpose. In life, kindness is never wasted. The seed you plant in someone's darkest moment may one day grow into a forest of blessings, even if you never see it bloom. Emeka didn't save her because she was rich. He saved her because she was human. And in doing so, he found more than he ever lost: love, faith, and a future money could never buy.